G'day everyone and welcome to the Before You Bet Racing Preview, taking a look at another huge weekend of Group 1 racing at Randwick and Flemington on Saturday, October the 3rd. I'm your host Tim Geers, joined as always by Trent Crebbin. We're brought to you by PlayUp. Trent, looking forward to another huge weekend of Group 1 racing.
Yeah, I can't wait. Some great racing at Flemington and Randwick, headquarters for both states, and I'm keen to get stuck in.
So we'll be taking you through our best bets for both Randwick and Flemington in this video, and we will be recording a separate video with our Group 1 previews of the weekend's 4 Group 1s, those being the Flight Stakes, the Epsom Handicap, the Metropolitan, and the Group 1 Turnbull Stakes, which is at Flemington. But we'll quickly take you through our best bets for each track, and Trent will kick off with you over at Flemington and Melbourne, and your best comes up in race number 4, horse number 4, Tefane.
Yeah, I'm pretty keen on Tefane in the Gilgai Stakes here at Flemington, the Group 2 Gilgai Stakes. She comes here second up after a good run first up down the straight in the Bobby Lewis at this track and trip. I thought she was probably the run of that race there. She had to give weight to a few males that she meets here again. So she meets a couple of horses like Zatori and Dollar for Dollar, 2 kilos better. I think she's just not really a fresh horse either. She goes much better second up, 2 wins from 3 starts when second up. She's obviously a very classy mare with an Everest slot. I think she's going to be very hard to beat here, especially the horses coming out of that race. I think she's got them covered. We've got a couple of other horses in there that are obviously quite talented. Santa Ana Lane comes here first up. There's a few queries on where he's at with a few in different runs last preparation. Not really a fresh horse either. He will be better suited at 1200 first up, but I think he's one you can take on when the camps come out and said that he's not really going to be fit again first up. So I think Tefane can beat him here. And then the other one is obviously the punter's power, Kementari, who comes here first up. He's trialled well again. He'll suck a few people in. If you're backing him here, you need to get your head checked. He's just not a winner. He's an absolute cat. Tefane's a line chaser. She's a very good mare, and I think she'll be very hard to beat here.
Yeah, I dipped myself back into the Kementari camp when he returned last preparation, and I'll never, ever be backing him again. He's had his chances with me. We'll move on to your best value bet of the day. Comes up in race number 5, the race straight after your best bet. You're with the Godolphin filly, horse number 7, Silhouette, $16 with PlayUp.
Yeah, it's a tricky race here, the Edward Manifold Stakes for the 3-year-olds. I thought Silhouette was a touch of value at around $16. She ran first up in a good race in one of the key lead up to the Guineas race behind Odium and Aidensfield. And I think she just got too far back on that occasion over 1400 metres, which is probably not her go. She ran on very strongly, ran the fastest last 600 metres of that race, only beaten 4 lengths in a much stronger race. She steps up to 1600 metres here, draws barrier 2. If she's a touch better away than she was last start, I think she can be quite close to the pace. She has raced quite close to the pace in Sydney last preparation. So I think if she's steps cleanly, she's going to be right up there, forward of midfield. And I think the step up to 1600 metres is really going to suit here. Flemington should suit as well. John Allen just needs to find a gap somewhere around the turn, and I think she can be right in the finish at a good each way price. And I think the other horse to beat there is probably the number 1 Thermosphere, who you could have something on as well. So just watch for the Godolphin Blue Jackets and cheer one of them home. But I think Silhouette is probably the value there.
Very good. We'll move on to Randwick and get through my best bets of the day. Of course, we've got 3 Group 1s on the card. My best bet, we're going to wait till the very last race of the day, the Get Out Stakes. And I'm with horse number 4, Hilo. This is race 9. Number 4, Hilo. He's currently $3 with PlayUp. On a tricky card overall, I thought he was probably the standout bet. He returned in a benchmark 88 over 1100 metres at Rose Hill behind Fitchuse. Masked Crusader was back in 3rd that day. So there is a little query on the form out of that race, given Masked Crusader came out and did a big flopperoonie last weekend. But I think the winner Fitchuse, she's bomb-proof. She's a proven winner. And I think still that's a reliable form line. This horse was very good. He ran second, beaten about a nose, maybe a little bit more. But I thought his run was very good. And if you look back through his run last preparation at this same stage of his prep, second up, he finished 3rd behind the likes of California Zimble and Dawn Passage. That was in the listed Derby Munro Stakes, and he sat 3 wide the trip in doing so. James McDonald keeps the ride here. He is drawn a little bit tricky out in barrier 9, so he's probably going to settle somewhere near the back of the field. But I just think plain and simple, he's a better horse than the rest of these horses in the race. He does have a danger in the form of his stablemate, A Theory, who draws very nice in barrier 2. But I think he's a better horse, Harlow, and I'm tipping J-Mac to get the best out of him and overcome that tricky draw. I think, yeah, with the winkers go on for the first time, and I think he brings the stronger form. Speaking of A Theory, I think she was blessed with her win last start. Now, she did win by nearly 3 lengths. It's pretty hard to knock her. But one of her biggest dangers in the race bombed the start by about 6 lengths. And from there on, she was always going to be the winner. So I think you have to take her win and the dominant fashion of her win with a little bit of a pinch of salt last start. And as I said, I think her stablemate Hilo is the better horse. So tipping him is my best bet of the day. Hopefully he can blast us out in the last race. My best value bet of the day comes up in the Group 1 Epsom Handicap. It's race number 7, and you can find a much more detailed preview of that race on our YouTube channel, where we go through all 4 of this weekend's Group 1 races. But in very short, my best value bet of the day, there's 2 horses here that I'm interested in playing, both double-figure odds or thereabouts. Horse number 9, Wild Planet, and horse number 12, Fun Star. They both come out of the same race last start. They finished alongside each other. Wild Planet got the win on that occasion. And he defeated Fun Star. That race was the Group 2 Theo Mark Stakes, and I think it's a reliable form race to follow here. Wild Planet, he should be 2 from 2 this preparation. He had no luck whatsoever first up from a spell, and as I said, he atoned for that with a strong win last start in the Theo Marks. Fun Star, she sat wide throughout last start in that Theo Marks, and she was brave running second. I think all preparation this stable has said, they're aiming her for a Group 1 at 1,600 metres. She gets that third up from the spell here, way down in the weights with Group 1 Glenn Boss on board. Now, I'm pretty sick of backing Bossy, except for in Group 1s over the Randwick Mile, where he seems to get it spot on just about every time. So I'm not too worried about the wide barrier. If you look through the past winners of this race, you'll see wide barriers are a common theme. So I'm not too worried about her draw. And around about $10 for Fun Star and around about $14 for Wild Planet. I think they're 2 good bets in what looks a really open Epsom handicap. Trent, any quick thoughts on those? We're going to get right into a deep dive of those Group 1 races shortly, but any quick thoughts on those?
No, I think they're both very good winning chances, and we'll take a deeper look in the next video.
Beautiful. Those are our best bets of the day, guys. You can find all of our race-by-race previews on beforeyoubet.com.au ahead of what's going to be a scintillating weekend of racing. And make sure if you do have a bet, you're doing so at playup.com.au, and please gamble responsibly. Good luck.